Hey, welcome all endurance sports fans. This is Ryan here, setthepace.triathlon.com. Do a quick little live video here. If you're watching this later recording, of what kind of weather to expect for Ironman Tulsa in 2021. Here we are at the time of this recording in early December of 2020. So, crossing our fingers that 2021 gets a little bit of normalcy back to it and we can go on racing, maybe modified enhancements, whatever. But we're looking forward to racing in 2021. So you need to know what weather to expect. So you know what to pack, you know what to bring, you know what to mentally prepare for, you know how to train, especially since this race is in May and I live in Kansas City. So winters are cold here. I'm not doing much riding early in the mornings outside. It's dark. I don't want to do that. I'm mostly on my trainer indoors. So if you're doing that, but you're not getting prepared for what the weather's going to be like, because Tulsa is about 3 hours south of me, it's going to be a little bit warmer, a little bit more humid, and possibilities of different weather conditions are going to exist. If you're not ready for them, then you're going to be in a hard spot come race day. So I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to show you what I typically do to go back and check out races and check out what the weather is going to be like or what possibly could be like. So I make sure that I have all the gear I need and I'm doing all the proper training. You don't want to look at the weather about a week out and then figure out, oh, I need rain gear, I need cold weather gear, or I need to prepare for heat. You get a week or two out, it's going to be too late for that. So we're going to flip it around, and this is what I kind of expect to see in Tulsa in 2021. So as you can see, fire up the old website here. We've got the race website for Ironman Tulsa 2021. The main point is they have been putting on information, you know, a hilly bike course, run a flat run course, swim in a lake. They do put the average air temperatures of 73 degrees for May 23rd, 2021. Average water temp is 73 degrees, so that's encouraging for a wetsuit legal. I always like myself a wetsuit legal race. So May 23rd, 2021. So I take that information. I like timeanddata.com. It has some good historical accurate information in there. So I wanted to see what the month of May is generally like. So based on weather reports collected during 1985 to 2015. So I think we got a lot of days in there. So typically if you go to May, you're going to find out that I have the high temperature is 80 degrees. The low temperature is 60. The mean temperature is 70 degrees. So that's kind of medium temperature for the day. But you'll notice here they got some quick climate info. Hottest month, coldest month, wettest month is May of 2.72 inches of rain average. So, and then April comes in at the windiest month. And I've been down in Tulsa a few times. It does get a little breezy, a little windy. I wouldn't call it necessarily high gusts, but it's going to be sustained winds. It could be 15 miles per hour. It could be higher. Or it could be 10 miles per hour, but you can count on a headwind wherever you are in Tulsa. So it is going to be windy. So this is just the kind of the average information for the month of May that you're looking at. Average humidity, note this, is 69%. That's pretty sticky. Average wind speeds of 9 miles an hour. Visibility 10 miles, dew point 59 degrees. So some good information here just for the month of May and accurate information. So you can dive down on into the weather and then you go to worldwide and you just search on your location and then you go to past weather. So I looked at May of 2020 and then you can go down and you can pick the day, show weather for whatever day you want. So I picked May 23rd, 2020. Kind of, the race should have been, I believe, on May 30th, so I'm a week off or so, but just kind of curious what the weather was like around that time frame this year in 2020. So in the morning, you look at a little bit warm, 72 degrees and 93% humidity. That is pretty, even though the temperature is not high, it's pretty sticky. So just be ready for that. There is going to be some humidity here. So if you come from a low humidity area, you could be in for a surprise, especially if you're training over the winter months. This might be kind of a little bit of a shock to you. So notice I did have a little bit of storms for a little bit. And then for early morning, it was overcast. And then the sun started coming out. And we were looking at a high of 86 degrees at 49% humidity, which is still, that's pretty sticky. And that's at 4 o'clock. So a majority of us will probably be on the run course somewhere. So what's nice with the trails is it is shaded, but you're going to be dealing with some heat and humidity, and if you're not prepared for it, it's going to be a little painful out there on the run. So you can look at the rest of the scattered clouds, passing clouds. So really no rain in 2020 around that time frame. Also, I dig through a couple more years. So I've gone to 2019. In the morning was 76 degrees, 88% humidity. So it's going to be warm and sticky in the mornings. It's looking like. Throughout the day, got up at about, let's see, a high of 87 degrees, 57% humidity, and looks like no precipitation for that day. In 2019, 2018, doing the same check, 71 degrees, 84% humidity. So it's going to be sticky. I mean, and we had a brief thunderstorm at around 1 o'clock, and then a couple thunderstorms in the evenings in 2018 around that time frame. So just be ready. I mean, 22 mile per hour wind gusts, 30 mile per hour wind gusts. If you're out there on the run, they might let you go for a little bit, but if it gets pretty severe, they're going to pull you off. I did omit 2019. You look at the wind speeds, 20 miles per hour, 21, 21, 18, 18, 18. 2019 was a little windy. 2020 looked a little bit better. You did get up to 17 miles per hour, 15 miles an hour. So the overall theme is going to be humid, and there might be a little bit of a breeze, and you're going to see sun at some point in the day, and you need to be ready for that. Notice in 2018 we did have a few storms. So what I also like to do is to go into weather.com. Even though we're in December right now, that was recording this video, you can go in and you can see what they predict for May of 2021. So, you can go down to May 23rd. So an average of 81 degrees. So they're actually showing a little bit higher than timeanddate.com, but that was just for the month. So record high was 95, record low was 44, sunrise 5:15, sunset, all that good stuff. So, you're looking to be in the 80s. So I just wanted to kind of run you through how I go through and research weather for races. So I think what we can glean from that for Ironman Tulsa, it's going to be warm, probably in the 80s, especially at the height of the day. It's going to be humid. It's going to be sticky even in the morning. It's going to be, 70s, and it's going to be humid. So if it's wetsuit legal, probably not going to put on the wetsuit until you're getting pretty close to starting the race, because it's going to be warm. And you don't want to sit in your wetsuit and swim and sweat to death right before the swim start. It's probably going to be a little breezy. So once you're out on that bike course, hopefully you are prepared to be in the aero position as much as possible and getting those rolling hills in. Because if you're out of the drops and you're getting, 15, 20 mile per hour winds, it's going to be tough sledding, especially if you're up on the handlebars and you're making a big sail out of yourself if you're not comfortable in the aero position. So be comfortable in aero. Prepare for heat, prepare for sunshine, prepare for possible rain and storms. So you just have to have that in the back of your mind. You probably won't freeze to death, but there could be rain. So just make sure you're comfortable on your bike in the rain. That's going to be important. But just be prepared. While we're doing our training, this is in May, like I said, and usually here in Kansas City, we're still a little bit southern, but, we don't warm up until April. Maybe we have some nice days in March and April, but usually you're getting around noon or 1 o'clock before it gets like 60 degrees or something if you want to go out for a bike ride. So these long rides, if you can get them outside, you're not going to get the kind of heat and humidity conditioning that you necessarily would unless you live kind of in a more southern area like Oklahoma, Texas, Atlanta, or Georgia, Louisiana, Florida, and that type of place. You're going to get that kind of atmosphere that you can go train in and get your acclimation. But I think from this, looking at the weather for Tulsa in the May time frame, you're going to need to be ready for heat and humidity. I think there's just no way around it. And just be prepared. It could be wet on the bike course. Living down in Tulsa, I was there for work off and on. I lived down there for a little less than a year. So I experienced all the different weather patterns. They do get snow and do get freezing rain, all that kind of fun stuff. But it's windy, especially along the river trails where we do the run. It'll be nice because you're along the river there and usually get a pretty good breeze or headwind. So it might help you there. If it is hot and humid, you get a little bit of breeze. It's not going to be a problem. But when you're on the bike, you don't want a breeze. You don't want a headwind. But be ready for it because it's going to be there. So with that's kind of my overall expectations of Ironman Tulsa, what the weather's going to be like that time frame in May. So if you've got any questions, put them in the comments. I'll happy to address them, or look it up, or search around for that information. I can find it. If you need anything else, I've been posting different videos about the courses and all that information. So if you're wanting other things looked at and wanting me to talk about, especially since I've been down there, I've done riding and running around that area while I was working there. So got some extensive training in that area. So if you've got more questions, you've got information you want to know about, put them in the comments. I'll see what I can do. So with that, happy training.